Hello everyone! A new trailer dropped showcasing the next Splatoon 3 season. I'm super hyped about it, since the content for 3 has been a bit slow compared to the previous entries. I'm going to go through here and analyze the new stages, weapons, and variants, and give some opinions about it too. So to start with, let's go to the stages. The trailer starts us out showing off the beautiful 5 FPS jellyfish that are out of bounds on all stages. The first stage appears to be a Japanese-styled village. For a minute, I thought it was related to Skipper Pavilion, but I don't think so. I'm a bit curious if it relates back to Shiver in any way, since she has a lot of classical Japanese theming around her. As for the actual stage, it appears to have a ramp leading down from your spawn zone to a large central area, with a big old block in the center, but little other for cover. There's also side areas a bit lower down from the central zone that appear similar to those in Inkblot Art Academy, allowing for flank maneuvers. It seems long-range weapons will dominate here, thanks to how open it is. It also seems like flanking will be very difficult. Honestly, it seems oddly similar to Flounder Heights, with a similar layout, but squished down to not be quite so vertical. Which is kind of ironic, because the next stage we see is a school surrounded by apartment buildings that seems to be Flounder Heights. For this stage, we get a really good side shot of what I assume is most of the stage. You start in your spawning area, which has many spots overlooking a courtyard. From this courtyard, you can go up a few ramps to get to a large bridge that dominates the stage, or go low, where you can slide under the bridge to flank into enemy territory. And talking about verticality, this stage has crazy amounts. I think I like the stage more than the previous. There's a lot of nice perches for long range, plenty of cover for skirmishers, but also blind spots for flankers to slide through. We'll have to see how they are when they release though. Next, we get to see the weapons. I'll go over the variants to existing weapons first. We get a super clear view of a Tenta splatter shot with Splat Bomb, but we don't get to see the special. Already this should be very strong. Next we see a pro variant. We don't get to see what it has until much later in the trailer, where it's confirmed to have Sticky Bombs and Booyah Bomb, which is a massive upgrade over the default loadout, in my opinion at least. Next we have a mini Splatling variant with Ink Cloud and Big Bubble Shield, another one where I think this loadout fits the weapon way better than the default, since it's actually support oriented. We see some dapple dualies with the torpedo, which is the first miss for me. I don't see the torpedo being more useful than the beacons, but maybe the special will make up for it. Finally, there's the new Luna with a bounce bomb. Again, we don't see the special, but bounce bomb will be pretty good to help with the Luna's mobility issues, creating a nice path straight to your opponent without using much ink. Now, the new weapons. I'm going to start with the most straightforward, the new shooter. It appears to have a range similar to the Pro, but maybe with more spread? It also seems to have faster movement speed when shooting. It seems to have the killer whale, as we see during the X Battle section, but it's hard to be sure. Basically, it continues the general theme of new shooters, tweaking stats to fill a hole we didn't realize was there. The new roller is just a wide boy, looking thicker than the Dynamo, but with a faster movement speed. We never see it flick or roll over someone during the trailer, but I'm assuming it can. However, it's probably quite weak. I'd be willing to bet either the swing is super slow, or barely flings any ink, or maybe it does no damage, or all of the above. If this is the case, I can see it being great in most competitive modes. And we don't see it sub or special, unfortunately. Last, we have the most unique new weapon, a semi-auto charger. Its gimmick is, after charging, you have 5 rounds, as hinted by the reticle. The charge time seems similar enough to the standard charger, and same with the range. From the trailer, it appears to take 2 hits to splat someone as the downside. We see it has the Tacticooler special, but don't get to see the sub. I'm honestly pretty excited for this one. We don't see if it can hold charge in the ink like other unscoped chargers, but I think it's safe to guess it does. The default charger will probably be better overall, but since this one will allow you to miss, it will be much easier to use. Hence why I'm excited. To round off the trailer, we get to see a teaser for Big Run. It looks like the invaded stage will be Wahoo World for the first time the event happens. It's the only stage we've seen in any trailers or data mined stuff. It seems absolutely massive for Salmon Run. Flyfish, stingers, and the big boys will be incredibly tough to deal with. The default water height floods the area between the team starting zones and the central circle, since it's the height we see while the crew is still in the helicopter. Interestingly, there appears to be 2 baskets above the waterline during standard tide, one in the center circle and one near the spawn zone. It seems to change between the 2 at random without a change in water height. This might be how they make use of the entire stage, despite it being so big. We also get to see a quick glance at low tide where this water recedes further, but we don't get to see where the basket is for it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrified of pug groups in this mode. Straying far from the basket or your team will be a death sentence. If you haven't learned how to lure bosses yet, it will be mandatory to be successful here. Otherwise, we get to see X rank is returning. Nothing really to break down here. For those new to the series, X rank is basically a hardcore ranked mode beyond S+. Something notable was missing though. League mode wasn't mentioned at all. As far as I know, we're expecting it to get added, and I'm surprised X rank is coming first. I expect them to be released jointly, or League first, followed by X. There's also some new gear pieces that can be spotted throughout the video. None that stood out to me in particular though. But that's the trailer. What weapon are you most excited for? Anything you saw I missed? Let me know in the comments below. As always, drop me a like for the algorithm, or sub if you're new here. And until next time, stay fresh.